at the end of the day, just having a presence on Amazon is just crucial, because if you're not there, your competitors are there and they're the ones stealing the traffic. So if you're not there, you are losing opportunity.
You've landed inside LaunchStreet, the business innovation podcast, where we interview top innovators out there shaking things up so you can innovate, differentiate, and get further faster. Since you're here, we know you're the type of person that recognizes the importance of unlocking your innovation advantage so you can compete and win. And now, your host, the person that has worked with leading companies like Disney, Procter & Gamble, Aero Electronics, the U.S. Army Research Labs, and Red Robin on upping their innovation advantage, Tamara Gontor.
You know, I've been in business for 25 plus years now. And one of the things I've really come to realize is that success isn't just in the razzle dazzle and the cool, sexy things. It's actually in the boring. It's in the mundane. It's in the daily disciplines that keep you going. So I want to share with you a resource that I found that I really love that's helped me keep my daily disciplines moving forward and kept me on track. And that is Basecamp. You've probably heard of it. It's a project management communication tool. It keeps me on track. It's where I keep my tasks that I have to follow up on. It's where I keep documents that I have to access over and over again. So I'm not wasting time looking for that same information that I constantly need. It's where I communicate with my team and keep everything in one place so I can always go back and reference what we talked about. It's where I keep my project folders, where I have my templates. It's where we house our manual for how we do business so that we all know how to do all the things that we need to do and can do them well. Basecamp has helped us take our game, our business to the next level. Without it, I think we would be wasting so much time and so much energy. So, hey, if you're a team inside a company that's looking for a tool to help you be cohesive, help you be more efficient, which, by the way, both lead to being more innovative because you're freeing up that space for innovation. You're not thinking about all those little things. If you're looking for a tool that helps you master the daily disciplines, I want you to think about looking at Basecamp. It has been a game changer for LaunchStreet, and I think it can be for you too.
Hey everybody, Tamara here, host of Inside LaunchStreet, an innovation enabler, and I have a great interview for you today because we are discussing all things Amazon. And while I know that might sound a little bit out of our wheelhouse for the stuff we do on Inside LaunchStreet, I actually think it's an incredible fit because Amazon has changed the way we live. And it has changed the way we shop, how we expect things to show up at our doorstep. It's changed how we search online. Like it is part of all of our lives. And at some point, my Alexa will probably try to talk to me during this conversation. Jenna, who's with me, is an expert in this area. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm really excited about this because I think these companies and these trends that we see actually create massive shifts in our human behavior. So with that said, Jenna, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. So I'm Jenna. I work at TurnKey Product Management. We're pretty much an all-inclusive Amazon marketing agency is a great way to kind of look at us. At TurnKey, I am the client services director, where pretty much I oversee all of the services we offer, like full service management, inner circle coaching, and also PPC management. So a couple different things there. So I started working at TurnKey from the start. So I've been there since we first got started. And I started as a client manager where I worked across dozens and dozens of different categories, worked with tons of different brands, really seeing kind of just what it takes to be successful on Amazon during my time here at TurnKey. So that's just a little bit about me.
Well, Jenna, I'm excited about this for two reasons. I'm sure our listeners heard it in your intro. You understand the strategy, but also the tactics of it. So it's not just theory for you, which I love. So I'm looking forward to digging into that. I actually want to start by going really high level because a lot of people that listen to LaunchStreet they're everyday innovators. Some of them are entrepreneurs and they have their own products and services, some selling on Amazon, and others are engineers inside companies or leaders of teams in resellers, right? They're kind of all over the place that way. The common thread being innovation or the recognition of the power of innovation. Why do you think, regardless of where you're coming from, Amazon is so important to have a handle on and to understand?
Yeah, I mean, an Amazon presence is incredibly important just for a few reasons. A lot of people will come to us and say, I have an Amazon account, but I'm not really paying attention to it. That's a common thing. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, just having a presence on Amazon is just crucial, because if you're not there, your competitors are there, and they're the ones stealing the traffic. So if you're not there, you are losing opportunity. Now, why is it just important to be on Amazon? I mean, the reality is you should have your own website. And I will stress that at TurnKey, we never say you should be a one-hit wonder, that you're solely reliant on Amazon. We never want that to be the case. But Amazon is a lot easier to launch on and get started on than your own Shopify for a few reasons, right? Amazon already has the buyers, right? There are millions of people shopping on Amazon every single day. You already have your market there. So you don't have to stress about getting them to the platform. Right. They're already shopping on Amazon. Now with Shopify, unfortunately, there's a lot more work, right? You have to get them to your website. How are you going to do that? You're going to have to do external marketing.
And you have to build a website too.
Yes. That too. Oh man. Didn't even cover that. Yeah. You got it. Whole thing. So, you got to build your website, but then you also got to get them there, and you got to get them trusting you. One thing, I don't know, personally where you're from with it, but when I'm on websites that aren't, an Amazon or even like Target or things like that, I'm a little skeptical just about my personal information. And a lot of people feel that way. People trust Amazon. So having a presence on Amazon is super crucial. But on top of that, doing Amazon well is important too, right? Because there's so much opportunity. There's so many customers on there. Doing better than your competitors will make you stand out. Doing things different than them will make you stand out. Amazon sounds complicated, but really it's just about giving it the attention it needs and testing tons of different strategies and finding what works for you.
So here's a random question. So I know that, tell me if I could be wrong about my stats, so bear with me, but it was something like it's the third largest search engine in the world, like Google. What's after Yahoo? I don't even know what's next. And then, but the largest in the sense of people looking to buy something. Or Google, you search like, what are the 5 behaviors, blah, blah, blah. And like on Amazon, you're like, I need the book for the 5 behaviors. When people search on Amazon, I've always been curious about this. Are they searching based on problem? Are they searching based on solution? Like, how do I think about those people finding my product? So if I have, I'll give you an example of something I was searching for the other day. I was searching for a self-heating mug so that when I get in the hot tub in the cold in the morning, it sounds so like first world, doesn't it? Like when I get in the hot tub in the morning, but your coffee gets cold when I'm out there and I'm freezing and I'm like, I just want warm coffee. And I wasn't sure what to search, but I'm curious from your kind of insider perspective, how do people even use Amazon?
Yeah. So we always compare Google and Amazon for a few reasons, because Amazon and Google's advertising are very similar in the way they're going to get customers to where you want them to go. So we always compare them. And our biggest difference between the two is the intent. So you already kind of touched on it, right? People are going to search Google that says best top 10 mugs to keep your coffee warm, right? But when you're on Amazon, your intent's a little bit different. You're going more right after the product where you'll be like, so you'll be like, self-heating mug. It'll be a lot more specific. Doesn't mean people don't go there for solutions or questions, because it is common, right? Especially if you don't really know what's going to solve your problem, it's common. And we actually have specific advertising campaigns that are solution-based, is what we call them, where we're trying to solve a problem or address an issue, things like that. So really the difference between Google and Amazon is the intent behind it. And a lot of the times people will do their research on Google and come to Amazon to purchase. That's a very common thread. But as far as the search engine, it might actually be tied now with Google, but there definitely is a really big, a lot of people just go straight to Amazon to look for the product, even going past Google. So that's another reason just to be there for sure.
Well, and I have found this my own behavior. Even when I'm in a store, like if they don't have the size I want, I don't ask the store for it. I just go to Amazon because I know they're going to have it. Someone somewhere is going to have what I'm trying on right now in the size I want. Like it's incredible how the blend of physical and online has changed. How do How do you think Amazon has changed us, or we've changed Amazon in 2020? Because I mean, we're recording this, funny enough, on the day that Jeff Bezos steps down, which I thought was, I don't know why, but to me that was like hysterical. Like, oh my God, like what a perfect time to talk about Amazon. But 2020 was a whole different world, and it made our connection to online shopping that much more. Well, I think we're more connected to it actually than ever before. So I would love to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think even without the pandemic, I do feel like year after year, Amazon was growing. People were more reliant on it. Every year it grows. There's more Prime users and things like that. The pandemic turned it into even higher gear. I'll tell you right now, majority of my clients had their biggest quarter four ever on Amazon. And it's just because a lot of people back in March, when grocery stores were out of stuff, when you couldn't go to regular stores that weren't essential, people turned to Amazon and they bought into Prime memberships which is a year-long membership, right? Those people that bought in back in March are still locked into that same contract and probably will continue it because it's just so efficient. I have my grandparents purchasing through Prime now, something they never did before, but they don't want to go to the grocery store right now. They don't want to go out in public. So, I think the pandemic just sped up what was already the inevitable. Like people are already shifting to Amazon. It was already, I think, in the works, but the fact that Amazon not only has everything under the sun, but on top of that, they can deliver it within a day or 2 days, which, as a society, we like things now. We want them now. We want them quick. So in your case, when you're at the store and you notice someone's not there or something's not there, you have ordered on Amazon while you're even at the store and it can be there tomorrow, right? It's not like it's an inconvenience really to you. So, I mean, I think 2020 made us even more reliant on Amazon. And I just think it might've just sped up what was already happening.
Well, I think the other thing I found is I now have gotten more comfortable buying stuff on Amazon that I would have never bought before, like spices. Like spices wasn't something I went to Amazon for. I would just go to the grocery store and get spices. But I don't know, I needed paprika for some recipe the other day and was like, oh, it's gone. Like, I don't want to bother going, no, I can go to the store. I've gone to the store through the pandemic, right? And I still was like, I'll just go to Amazon and get it. Like this, getting in my car is too much work. So I think it's really changed our relationship with convenience. And the one thing I wanted to point out, Jenna, that I think is so important, kind of what you're saying with all these, like how Amazon changes our expectations, is that if you're a company of any kind, first of all, to your point, which I think was so important, if we're not on Amazon, our competition is in some way. Even if we're in the business to business market, our competition's on Amazon in some way and getting that exposure that we're not getting. The second thing, and I think you get the halo effect from Amazon of like, oh, it's on Amazon, so it's going to get here on time. And it's, even though that's Amazon, not even your product, right? But the third thing is, I think Amazon changes our expectations. So like, I'll give you an example. I have this online academy of these incredible people who are trying to drive innovation in their companies. And I sent out a gift to them. I told them, I'm sending you this gift. It took me about a week and a half between packing it, getting to the post office, getting it out there. And in 3 days, people were like, where's the gift? Like, do you have the right address? But I was like, oh, I just needed some time to go from like step 1 to step 5. But in their minds, everything comes in 2 days. So they're not, your customer isn't compartmentalizing the way we would, the one doing the delivery. And I think that's why it's also important to be on Amazon, is because they've nailed the delivery. So let them do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that another thing that comes up quite a bit is, do I do fulfilled by Amazon, which is called FBA, or do I do fulfilled by merchant? A lot of people come and ask us that question. And, that's another reason to do FBA, is because you'll hit the ship times people are already expecting on Amazon. But on top of that, I mean, I don't know if everyone's following the drama with USPS, like they are so behind.
Oh yeah.
What's great is if you do FBA, Amazon's dealing with that drama. If a package is lost, you're not dealing with it. It's Amazon that's dealing with it. So that's another big positive for business owners. Like, you guys don't have time to deal with that. So give it to Amazon. That's one really big factor as well.
I was actually laughing because we drove across country to Lake Tahoe from Denver, where I live, and we saw it was a really bad snowstorm, and there was an Amazon Prime truck on the side of the road, like flipped over. I felt bad for the driver, but I was like, I guess every now and again my package can be a day late. Like, I get it, okay, but we're so like, their service is so incredible. I want to flip it for a second. I'm curious. What are the top 3 mistakes you see people making when trying to sell on Amazon?
That's a great question. I mean, I think the number one thing is a lot of people just think I just need to create my listing and just throw it up there and not care what it looks like. That's a very common issue. And quite honestly, your listing should resemble your website is how we like to look at it. It needs to have consistent branding, because if you go on a listing and it's obvious that someone took the picture like in their kitchen or things like that, you're not going to trust that as much, even if it is on Amazon, right? So, a lot of people will just say, it's on Amazon. The customer's already there. I don't need to pay attention to it. That can't be further from the truth. So that's really the number one issue. And then on top of that, we see people that, yes, they'll put together a really strong listing. They'll do all these things from the start, but they're not revisiting it. They set their ads up, but they haven't gone back and looked at them and optimized them. They haven't
just going to like magically take care of itself.
Yeah. That's a very common thing. And like people will set the listing up, but not test to see how they can improve their conversion rates. So that's another thing where they'll, yes, there's people that just won't do it because they're like, Amazon will take care of it. Then there's also people that will do a good job from the start, but they'll go into autopilot mode, not testing new things, not doing strategies, not putting themselves up there. Because the reality is Amazon has so many new things coming out all the time from either an advertising perspective or from just different opportunities from promotional standpoints. There's so many things out there. So if you're not checking on these things, your competitors are, and they're going to beat you. And then, from a third perspective, one big mistake I see a lot is people will get a little greedy in the sense that they don't want to share their customers with Amazon. So a lot of people won't want to do email marketing to Amazon. They won't want to do Facebook advertising to Amazon. And honestly, that really does hurt you in the long run. And the reason why is Amazon actually says that external marketing, like a Facebook ad, for example, is 3 times stronger in terms of influencing your ranking than internal PPC advertising. So
let me make sure I understand. Yeah, let me understand for a second. So let's say I have my self-heating mug company. Yes. And I've got a website. And if I sell it on the website, I make $30 per mug. But if I sell it on Amazon, I make 15 or 20, whatever. I'm making up the numbers. So what you're saying is what people are mistakenly doing is trying to drive them to the website because they think they'll make more per mug. But then you're hurting your ranking on Amazon and you have hopefully the volume on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of people, because of the, bottom line, the COGS and everything associated with it, will not send traffic to Amazon. But the reality is, it's important to have some stream go to Amazon, not all. We never say send all of your email marketing to Amazon or send all that's totally not the case. And our team has strategies to specifically build assets that are specific to Amazon. But a lot of people say, I don't want to do external stuff. I don't want to do that, because it's just cannibalizing. That's a very common term, cannibalizing our customers. And that's definitely not the case. I mean, an Amazon customer is better than no customer at all. And again, there's that trust factor with Amazon, right? Everyone has their credit card stored with Amazon. Amazon has their address already saved. Yeah. Yes. So there is a possibility that you are losing customers because you will only send them to your website and not try them out on Amazon. So we have a lot of tactics to help different brands that are in different situations, because, some people are like, heck yeah, send as much traffic as you want. And others are more conservative, which is okay. We have different ways to work with each individual to find what's best for them.
So let me ask you a question though. You said something a minute ago that I think is important because it's true, not just on Amazon, everywhere in life, but that there are a ton of new products right on Amazon every day, really. And there's a million, let's just keep going with the self-heating mug thing, right? There's a million of them. In fact, when I looked, there was like 50 options, like it's ridiculous. So as a seller, what can I do aside from being part of Prime? Because I know as a buyer, I know that matters. I'm not going to buy from you if you're not on Prime because I want you in 2 days. I've already paid for Prime. So like chop, chop, right? But what else can I do to stand out when, to your point, there's a million of everything out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think the most important way to stand out is implementing different strategies. So what I mean by that is you should do PPC advertising, but you shouldn't just set up an automatic campaign and let it run. You need to set up campaigns that are meant to get you in front of customers as much as possible. If you go right now to Amazon and you searched, coffee heating mug, the first 4 options are going to be PPC options. They're not even going to be the number 1 ranked product. So PPC is definitely probably the number 1 thing that just everyone should be doing to some capacity, because you're really missing page spot. You're missing going on the top of the page. So it's crucial to be doing PPC. But on top of that, you want to take advantage of things that Amazon's offering you. So one really great example would be lightning deals. That's something that a lot of people don't run or don't even know about. It's located in your deals tab for those of you listening that don't know what it is. But pretty much like doing things like lightning deals, running promotional strategies like coupon clippings, because when you run a coupon clipping in the search results, you're going to have a big, I believe it's green now, a green box that says 10% off or $5 off.
I've seen that.
You want to stand out. You want to be different. And then on top of that, even just going from a logistical standpoint from Amazon's A10 algorithm, you want to make sure your listing's fully optimized. You have to have those number one keywords in there. You have to be looking and making sure the keywords with the higher search frequency are in your title, in your bullet points, because at the end of the day, I mean, Amazon is relying heavily on their algorithm, right? This is not a manual process whatsoever. So you need to have all of that information in there for Amazon. And then again, just having a strong listing, right? Having those strong images, because if you have a terrible main image and people are comparing you on the search results, you're not going to get picked, right? So there's a lot at play as to what makes you more successful, what makes you stand out. There's a ton. I'd also say external advertising is going to be a really big part of that. But just implementing different things and also having just a good amount of reviews, right? I mean, as a customer from Amazon, it's a social proof driven platform. So if you have no reviews, no one is going to purchase from you. So having those strategies in place as well is a really big deal.
So what do you think are some of the not so obvious strategies that some of your top clients are using to win that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough because everyone is so different. I think really review strategies are just crucial. And a lot of the times, especially now, I mean, Amazon has given customers a way out. They've added an opt-out option from promotional emails from brands on Amazon. Amazon has done a few. Yeah, Amazon is slowly trying to remove sellers from talking to customers, which obviously is a bummer and is not ideal. So the brands that do the best, in my opinion, are the ones with a higher review count. But in order to get that high review count, you have to be doing strategies outside the box. You can't just be relying on autoresponders anymore. That can't be happening. And not only that, you can't just rely on one review strategy. You have to be running multiple because Amazon has given it out to so many customers. So you almost have to find different ways to get in front of that customer, because maybe one or two ways will not work because Amazon has prevented that from happening, but maybe one will. So to me, the big difference is the review counts for customers and thinking outside the box with those review strategies. And again, those are things that are super custom to each brand because it's based off of just, how, like a supplement, for example, they're going to have a totally different plan from like a CrossFit company, because supplements, a lot of the times, you don't want them to leave a review right away because sometimes they'll give you acne as soon as you start using a new supplement, or maybe, you won't see the effects immediately. So you almost want to delay a review for a supplement company, but a CrossFit company, I mean, they can start using a jump rope the day they get it. Right. So it's super important to really think through your review strategy, to think outside the box for your review strategy, because the more reviews you can get, the better reviews you can get, the better you will be in those search results compared to your competitors.
So let me ask you this, because I don't have products on Amazon. I have books on Amazon. Well, I have books, not other types of products. And one of the things that, of course, I did early on is I had the people that I know and love buy my book and then leave a review. Right? That's kind of an obvious review strategy. What is one that maybe, because you've said it a few times about review strategies, what is one that maybe isn't so obvious, but is still ethical? Because I know that Amazon cracks down on false reviews. And frankly, as a buyer, you can tell when you read them. You're like, well, that didn't make sense, So like, what are some other ways to get reviews? Because I do think that's the key to a lot of Amazon selling is those 5 stars and having like 1,000 reviews under your product.
Yeah, I mean, I think timing is super important. I think a lot of people don't think about that. So that supplement example is a really great one. If you are a supplement company, or if you're just if you have a product that is not going to work for the first couple of weeks, or like it might not have the best experience until later, it's a common thing. Not all products are going to be a slam dunk right out of the box.
Right.
So I think timing is super important. So that means, adjusting your autoresponders to be closer to to be closer to that timeline that matches yours. But I mean, as far as ethical,
like asking for a review, an autoresponder ask for, I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So as far as, making sure you're within Amazon's terms of service, a couple of other things you can do is you could just have the ask a review button, which is located within your orders. That is, again, something that you want to follow a timeline. So again, you have 30 days to press the request a review button. So based on your product, choose the best time to do that, because that actually is not an opt-out option. People can't opt out of that. And a lot of you guys will see it actually within your app. Amazon will say, hey, rate this product. That's usually you pressing the button. So that's really, to us, one of the more ethical things we've seen. And it's kind of just been a slam dunk. It's been really easy. It's not something everyone's aware of. And it's relatively new, came out probably within the last year. But other things just people should take advantage of especially if you're launching, like what you're saying, where you get your family and friends to purchase, which is a common strategy. One that everyone should be careful of, though. If it's a family member of my parents, for example, my boyfriend and I spend Christmas with them. And my laptop, of course, comes with me, and I'm logging in and out of seller accounts. So my parents are not an option to leave a review, right? Because we're on the same IP address. So that's a really easy way to get in trouble. So if you ever plan on working at your sibling's house or your parents' house or your grandparents' house or wherever,
I didn't know
they're not an option. Yeah, they're not an option for the review. So just make sure you're super careful about that. But things that are just really important to know and pay attention to is what Amazon has at their disposal. So if you are brand registered, meaning you've submitted your trademark to Amazon and your brand is registered with them, you have Amazon Vine as an option, which is a really, really good option. We're seeing tons of really great results, and that can just help jumpstart your reviews. So you might not even need to rely on family and friends. You can just use Amazon Vine, which is pretty much Amazon. You're not allowed to incentivize reviews, but Amazon is. So Amazon will give people a free product, and then they have 30 days to leave a review. So that can get you up to 30 reviews. And then there's also a program called Early Reviewer Program as well. So those are some really great, very, staying white hat, staying good, terms of service things. Obviously, as one thing I always just tell people that are selling on Amazon, pay attention when you're purchasing products on Amazon. See what people are doing to have you leave a review, right? See what they're doing and see how you can adjust it. I always say you should be buying your competitors' products for multiple things, right? Like you should see how is their product better? Like what features do they have? But you also should look for things like how are they asking for reviews? How are they getting it done? Almost like reverse hacking. So that's another thing we always stress. And and just our team in general, we tell each other, because we're all huge Amazon shoppers. We're paying attention to what people are doing so we can learn do we implement that with this client or things like that? Because there's definitely a lot of out of the box strategies that are a little bit more gray area that, if I'm just being honest, but there's lots to learn just by shopping on Amazon.
So I know you have clients kind of from all different product areas. I'm curious if either with your clients or just in shopping on Amazon, if there's any products or industries that you've been like, that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that, but actually has worked. Or I'm wondering about what you've seen that surprised you.
Yeah. There's a bunch. One thing that stands out, the products that do super well are repeat purchase products. So K-cups, supplements, things like that, they do well because people will have the option to subscribe and save to them. So that's a really great option. But for people that maybe they don't have a product yet, maybe they're working on a product, things like that. One thing I always stress is it's okay to do a more of a popular category. Like K-cups is a really great example. If you are developing a K-cup or things like that, that's fine. But you need to find a way to make your product stand out because that's how you're going to beat people. So one really great example, actually one of my first clients here at TurnKey was VitaCup Coffee. They sold K-cups, and what made them stand out was they weren't just coffee. They actually had all of your daily vitamins infused in your coffee. So you didn't have to worry about it. Your vitamins were in every cup of coffee. So K-cups, I would argue, is a pretty saturated market. It's a very popular market. Coffee in general on Amazon is a very popular market. But having something like vitamin infused coffee or something things different like that, something different, that's what is going to create success on Amazon. I would argue one of our brands that we work with is a huge, huge CrossFit company. They make their products different. They make them stand out, and they do just a really great job connecting with their customers. So that's another way.
Wait, can you tell me who it is? I do a ton of CrossFit. I probably have their products.
They are Bear Complex. Yeah, they're one of our customers on our website. They are they are the coolest people. I love working with them. Yeah. Yes, no, love them. But they make it stand out, right? So they just do a really great job on Amazon. They kick butt every single month, and absolutely love working with them. But I think as far as like products that have surprised me, I mean, I think it's just products that, because I mean, another thing we've seen is like sometimes people are trying too hard to be different, so that people aren't even like searching your product, right? That's a problem as well sometimes.
Yes.
So like you're just trying too hard.
Yeah. And I would say that my feedback on that is to people. So I'm in the space of innovation, so we're always trying to push the boundaries. But my feedback to people is always, if you're going to push the boundaries, make sure you have an anchor people understand or are looking for. Because if you push too far, they're not over there with you. You got to lead them there with you. So it's not that your product isn't amazing. It's that you're here and they're here, or the other way around, or whatever. And so you got to give them an anchor or a handle that they already understand. That's kind of why I like your coffee, the VitaCup example, because it's coffee and vitamins. So I'm like, okay, I need coffee and I get vitamins. Like, okay, I get it. Where if it had just been like, I don't know, a vitamin cup K thing, I would have been like, I don't understand what do I do with it? You know what I mean? Like you need an anchor.
Yeah. And then, I mean, another thing also, a lot of people think, oh, if I have the cheaper product, I'll do better. Not the case. Right. I mean, if anything, like if your product's premium, act like it. Have the price point you think you deserve.
Yeah, I love that.
Because VitaCup's another great example. They are definitely more expensive than other people in their space, but I mean, they can back it up. They have really great products. It's something people need. People need to continue purchasing it. So it's okay if you're the premium product in the space, but you got to be able to back it up. You have to have the premium product and don't shy away from it. Just back it up.
I love that. And I've always kind of been the believer that go in high and then you can discount when you want to. If you go in low, there's no room to discount. So you kind of pigeonhole yourself if you come in low. I interviewed the founders of Kodiak protein pancakes and waffles, like that whole brand. And at the time we were talking about how they were more expensive, but they're like, well, we provide something different. And then we have, like, I don't want price shoppers. I want people who want protein in their pancakes, So I think it also depends on kind of the value you bring. So Jen, this has been fascinating. Is there, before I get to my final question, where can people connect with you and your company and what you do?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested, need help on Amazon, have any questions about Amazon, you can reach out to turnkeyproductmanagement.com/talk. That right there, that will connect you with our client success team and they'll point you in the right direction on where we can help you out. We also have a Facebook page, Facebook group that you guys can reach out to connect with us directly if you have any specific questions. So
I'm going to add, I meant to mention this earlier because it's on my desk, but because it was an Amazon purchase, but I'd love to get your take on viral and referral, because I will tell you, this is the most ridiculous water bottle I've ever owned. And yet everybody I know now owns it. And it's gone like totally viral on Amazon or I don't know what, like it has all the little sayings. It works. I don't know. There's something about it. It's weird. I spent $25 on a water bottle, Jenna, $25.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's absurd. But it's called Hydra Mate and it's awesome. So, but it came from my sister and then I sent it to 3 more people once I got it. So I'm just curious, like, do you work with clients to get that outside buzz? I don't love to say things go viral because I feel like that's so hit or miss, but like to get a buzz going where you're driving people versus just, hoping even just on Amazon they find you.
Yeah, I mean, I think influencers are really on the rise. I think especially, we have one client that I guess the best way to describe it is they're in the meal prepping space. They have a very one-of-the-kind product that is a little bit complex, but it's amazing. It's high quality, things like that. And one thing is they're all over TikTok, and that right there can just help you explode. And to me, that means getting in front of influencers, reaching out to them. And that is something our team can help you with. There are Amazon specific influencers that like literally have their own Amazon shop.
Oh, I know, because I follow them on Instagram.
Yes, no, I know exactly. So it's so easy now to get, because there's, and like, you don't have to have somebody that has 100,000 followers, like on TikTok or Instagram or anything.
Right.
It could be someone that has only just 10,000 followers, but they're getting in front of people and they're showing off your product.
Right.
And a lot of them will just do it for free if you just send them a free product. So truthfully, going viral, I think, is important. And what's great is, yes, there's obviously the automatic hype, which, I mean, I've actually talked to my boyfriend that he needs to buy that exact water bottle.
Oh my God, it's the bomb diggity. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've just like drink the Kool-Aid that everyone thinks it's amazing, or if it really is, but it's great.
Yeah. I mean, he works for FedEx. So, I mean, he needs his water. So like, I was just like, this will just have you set the whole day. Just get one. So I think he's like going to get one today. But anyway, that is something that totally went viral on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. But what's great is that viral, or I guess that hot commodity at the start. What's great is now if you search water bottle, I bet you
it comes up.
Yes. But you don't have to be specific of one gallon water bottles. But originally it probably had to be specific. So what's great is that's going to help you with ranking, which ranking doesn't stick forever. It's always important to keep working at it. But what's great with influencers is, yes, they'll give you that immediate traffic, right? That immediate ranking. But that should overall just help your rankings in general, help your organic sales, help your PPC sales. So getting involved with influencers, which again is something our TurnKey team can help with, is definitely really important in this market. That's for sure.
Will you tell him the water bottle is the best? So Hydra Mate, we love you. I don't know what you did to make this water bottle special, but it is.
Definitely.
It's so funny, isn't it? All right, Jen, this has been fantastic. So thank you. And as I said in the beginning, just to all the listeners, like I know this is not our usual conversation, but Amazon is just pervasive in our lives. And I think it's important that we understand whether we're going to be the one putting the product on for ourselves or we're part of a company. I think that Amazon is important to understand because they are driving our behavior in a lot of different industries. And I think it would be remiss to not understand Amazon. I really do. And then we were talking about this beginning, but I know because people be like, why didn't you talk about Jeff Bezos, Tamara? So, and you and I had this conversation offline for a second, but we were talking about why he stepped down. And I think you and I were kind of both saying like, probably because it's time, like he's probably moving on to other things, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just time. I think he has other initiatives, and I mean, Amazon alone has to be, it's got to be a big monster, right? So, I mean, one thing actually, a lot of times people will ask, why bring on TurnKey? I almost think this is a comparable situation. A lot of people might already be doing really well on Amazon, might already be kicking butt every single month. But the reality is, if you're putting all your focus and energy, just like Jeff Bezos was into Amazon, you can't grow other things. You can't grow your company in ways you want it to. You can't expand in your catalog, just like he's expanding into Washington Post and his different fundraisers, things like that. So I think it kind of ties in together where it's like, give someone else a chance to grow it, because this way because he's still going to be involved with Amazon to some degree, right? Obviously. Yeah. But now he can focus on other things and probably expand just his overall market, right? In general, just everything he has under his belt. And same thing could be said for bringing on an expert like our team, where if you hand over Amazon to us, you guys can focus on other things, getting into Target, getting into Walmart, focusing on those things that you do best. You can, same thing with Jeff Bezos, where he's focusing on things he can do best. So.
Well, and I know from online sales, not on Amazon, but just in general and online marketing, that you could spend an entire day doing that, like just being behind on your website, behind the scenes on your website, on your social media, it is so all consuming. It is so all consuming, all of it. So I agree. I think you got to find, and like you were talking about the coupon button or whatever that is, I didn't even know that existed. So like, I think it's important to hire people like you who have insight into some of the things that you can do that I would have to spend 10 hours before I find that,
Right. I mean, we live and breathe Amazon. It's all we do. So, I mean, it's easy to miss those things when you're not on it all day, but we are. So we'll just take care of that for you.
We are. All right, Jenna, thank you so much for joining us on Inside LaunchStreet. It was very insightful. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for hanging with us on Inside LaunchStreet. If you know someone that is truly ready to unlock their innovation advantage, have them join you on LaunchStreet. Discover your innovation advantage. Build a team of high-performing innovators and ignite ideas and solutions that create massive impact. GOTO, LaunchStreet.com. Remember, innovators, if you don't take the leap, somebody else will.